Hello from Cambridge. Welcome to episode 5 of The Grind. This is a series where I show you the behind the scenes of someone who is grinding away to make it as an actor and a comedian. And that is me, Tyson Bradley. So last month, the grind was pretty depressing in terms of some pretty bad gigs and a lot of money spent to get to those bad gigs. Tonight is the 1st of April, and the gig was poorly advertised, poorly attended. Half the comedians didn't show up. No word from the organizers as to whether the gig was going to continue or not, but we managed to get 8 audience members, and I took over as the MC and hosted the evening and tried to make a best out of a worse situation. Despite the fact that it wasn't a great gig, I'm still feeling more optimistic about April than I did in March. Well, you can see what the weather's like. It's all windy, my hair's getting blown away in the wind, but I got a show tonight in Nottingham, a place called Robin Hood, so looking forward to that. Hoping I blow away the audience.
Nice to be here in Nottingham tonight. Yeah, good. I did travel all the way up from London just for you to guys go, he was all right. Yeah, I've never seen so many dogs at one comedy show tonight. There was like 4 of them in the back there. It was amazing. And then kids too, so this is how comedy always runs. You guys have been fantastic. I'm really glad I came here to the place of the world famous Robin Hood, who doesn't really exist. I don't know if you knew that in Nottingham. He wasn't a real guy. Okay, that's a strong way to end my set. Might as well just like take a shot on the king or something. I don't know. But okay, well, thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening. Thank you.
As usual, on the last train back to London, and had the show in Nottingham tonight. It was all the potentials of a good gig in that you had a full room of people that were there to see comedy and were very much up for it. Unfortunately, the first guy came on and he had very low energy. The second guy came on, tried to do a character act and completely bombed. And then I came on after to that. It was a challenge. I even had an audience member at the end of it say to me, if you weren't following that guy, you probably would have got more laughs. So that's never a good sign when that is what you have to follow. I've heard of tough acts to follow, but usually in a good way, like the person before you crushed it. It's hard to come on to a full crowd that is not ready. Back at Up the Creek, unexpectedly, got an email today saying they had a spot available for the Blackout tonight, which is their competition where you can go up there and try and survive 5 minutes and not have the audience vote you off. I don't know why I'm doing a gong show and a roast in the month of April. 2 things I hate doing in comedy, that's what I'm doing. So when it comes to the gong shows, I don't know what's worse. Sitting there and watching other acts go on and then get booed off stage, or sitting backstage with other acts who are also shitting themselves before they're about to go on stage. It's a weird thing doing these gong shows. Just the whole environment really just puts me on edge, and it feels like it's not real comedy because the audience is primed to hate. I got gonged off after a few minutes, and there's probably a number of factors that played into it. I was one of the last people on, so the crowd was tired and they just wanted to go home because they got work in the morning. And also, there was a joke earlier about how they were going to gong off all the white people, and the crowd seemed really on board for gonging off the white people after that point. So maybe that played into it. I don't know. But I didn't make it. It hurts the ego a little bit when you get gonged off. I've just been doing some tours. I've had a bunch of tours canceled already this month, which means I have lost out on the money from not being able to do those tours because they were canceled due to lack of bookings, apparently. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Not happy about it.
So I had a roast battle on Saturday that was meant to happen and didn't happen because the other guy who I was meant to be roasting, who I'd written jokes about and was all set to go, just decided to cancel 30 minutes before the start of the show. And in my opinion is quite an unprofessional thing to do, because it's not just affecting his ability to perform, but when you're doing a roast battle, there's two people on stage. So that meant that I didn't get to perform.
Got a show tonight at South Ken Comedy, just above the Hoop and Toy here in South Ken. And I've had good gigs and bad gigs here, so hopefully tonight is a good gig. I am high on an energy drink.
The thing that annoyed me tonight was the fact that it was a small audience and most of the comedians left before I got on. And it's not about me getting on and them watching me. It's just about extending courtesy to fellow performers. If you're another comedian and you're watching this, I will say I look a whole lot less favorably upon comedians who don't stay to the end. Unless they've got some great excuse, such as maybe they've got another gig to go to, or they live out in Essex or Kent and they can only get certain trains, fair enough. But most comedians who leave early, it's just a matter of them wanting to get home early. And it's one thing if you're playing to a crowd of 100, 200 people, no one's gonna notice that you left early. But when there's 8 people there, it is obvious that you left early. And you're not Dave Chappelle. If you were Dave Chappelle, you wouldn't be playing to 8 people above a pub tonight. I do that, whether I go on first or last or in the middle. I always try to stay to the end if I can. There are sometimes exceptions, especially when I'm performing outside of London and I've got to catch the last train back to London and it happens to be when the headliner's on or something. That would be an exception to the rule for me. Just on my way to do a quick YouTube shoot for these guys who they approach people on the streets who are definitely not paid actors, such as myself. Sorry to ruin the illusion for you that a lot of these street interviews are a lot of times paid actors. Doing this quick little thing, 20 minutes, easy money, and no one's ever gonna see it. Spring has sprung. I am in Manchester today, and I am at Manchester University today. I'm doing a university gig tonight, and in my experience, university students may or may not laugh. I feel like they are too self-conscious to laugh around their mates. So I've seen that at other universities I've played. So let's see how the gig goes tonight. I'm wearing a tragically hip t-shirt and red plaid. Of course I'm gonna go to Tim Hortons. I can find this thing without even looking at a map when I arrive in Manchester. Authentic American and Canadian breakfast. Moose coffee. I've seen that in other places, but never seen that in Manchester before. I don't know what the hell this is, but these guys are trying to jump on the Canadian board as well. What is it with people in Manchester trying to do Canadian stuff? Time for my honest gig review, as I like to do at the end of most of my gigs. And tonight was an interesting setup here at the University of Manchester. There was no microphone. There was a person who kind of introduced us, but not really an MC. In terms of a comedy night, there was 17 people there. I know because I counted. To be fair, the people who were there were lovely. It was just strange doing a university gig and finding people get quiet or offended by things that they didn't need to get offended by. I'm not really an edgy, dark comedian, but it seemed like for them there was certain things that felt like I was pushing too close to a line, and I was like, I'm not even anywhere near the line. So that was an interesting experience. I basically didn't bother filming it tonight, as you can tell, and I just did a lot of improvised material, crowd work. I did a few written jokes, and those were the ones that people found edgy or whatever. I did about 20 minutes and I'm happy with that, and it's nice to be able to try and get a train back to London that is not the last train to London, so I'm going to try and do that now. Bad news and good news. Bad news is apparently I was still on stage when the last train from Manchester departed to London, and there was no other way for me to get home except for either to pay extra money for a coach bus when I already have a train ticket that is a return, or I wait for the first train, which is at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So now I'm stuck in Manchester until 5 a.m. and I have a food tour at Borough Market at 10:30 a.m. And the good news is that Creatures of the Night Comedy Club, which is a brilliant comedy club in Manchester, has allowed me to go on to the late show. So I'm on my way to go and do even more comedy because I've missed my train. Had a good set at Creatures Comedy Club here. Really enjoyed myself. Just did what I normally do. Last time I was here, I didn't do so great, so it was good to do well tonight. And unfortunately, I didn't film it. Just is the rule. Always your best sets are the ones you never film.
I managed to walk around all night, and now we'll be catching the first train at about 5 a.m., getting to London sometime after 7 a.m., and then we'll have almost no time at all to sleep before I have the food tour at 10 a.m. This will be fun.
This morning I was up bright and early at 7 a.m. to get here to Great Western Studios, where this morning I filmed 2 monologues, one dramatic monologue and one comedy monologue, and got them all professionally filmed. Look at this, it's lovely. It's a lovely day. It's a lovely kind of studios, lovely canal, and everything like that, but it was good. I've been so busy doing flat searching that I haven't had any time to do very much creative stuff. So it was nice that I got a professionally filmed couple of monologues that hopefully I can use in auditions and things like that. And the director I worked with was really cool. So I look forward to seeing how those turn out in the next 3 weeks. Hello from Bollywood, where today I am on set doing a shoot about Gandhi, and I am suited and booted. So just a little job that came in last moment. Got the email yesterday and I'm on set today, so we'll see how it goes. I've done my hair and makeup and wardrobe and getting ready to go on set soon. It's a period piece, obviously. Hosting a pub quiz in Sydenham tonight, and I used to live here for like 6 months back in 2014, and I don't think I've been back since then, so it's quite nostalgic. I've lived in the UK long enough now to have nostalgia for somewhere that I used to live 9 years ago. Crazy. End of the month, and I've got 2 shows tonight. First one here at Balti Towers. Let's see how it goes. Then I gotta rush off here and go to Backyard Comedy.
Sometimes, you know, when you get up on stage and you're just like, is this real? Like, am I in a real place right now? Like, I feel like I am one joke away from being written up by either HR or the police. You know, I'm like, what the hell can I say tonight? So you ladies are single. Don't worry, I'm not. Don't tell him you're single, then he's gonna follow you after the gig. What the? We talked about this, Sharon. What the hell? Don't worry, I gotta leave early. You're safe. You can leave. You can no. It's not me you have to worry about. Look behind you. You definitely dreamt it. You manifested it. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Anybody else manifesting shit? I'm manifesting myself having laughter. Yes. you can believe it, you can do it.
First gig of the night finished. Very strange crowd. Tom Alban, great MC, but weird people in the audience. So yeah, that was something I had to contend with. And the guy that went on before me didn't do amazing, and then it made it weird when I got on. It's like literally trying to pull the laughs, like I've talked about before, trying to pull those laughs out of them. So weird crowd, but great evening. Now I got to rush from Waterloo to Bethnal Green to go to Backyard Comedy. Here we are, Backyard Comedy. Gotta shake off the last gig and get in there and smash it tonight. Here we go.
Yeah, all right, cool. That's the vibe. Manitoba, okay, the world's shyest Canadians. They're like, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to speak out loud like that. Sorry about that, eh? Did you guys hate me already? What did I do? I just existed. Yeah, it's good. I just came from another gig, and everyone in the crowd had like a super cool voice when the MC talked to them. They're like, yeah, my name is Magnus Wolf. Like, that was actually a guy's name in the last crowd I just did. And then I got here, and then like one guy from Liverpool was like, she's on benefits! Wild! That's a very different accent than what I just heard. It's benefits, man! Like, I need subtitles for that guy. I've gigged in Liverpool, man. I know what it's like. Watch out. All right. Oh, shit. Hey, there we go. Oh my gosh, how small. Every girl wants a guy that is funny until he's not 6 foot. Look at how tall this microphone is. That is me. Put that on my dating profile. Hey, ladies, I got jokes, but I'm short as yeah. I hope you guys have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Must be something in the air tonight with fans of comedy or whatever it is, but I didn't see any comedians do well this evening, either at Backyard or at the other place at Vaulty Towers. So I don't know what it was, just weird crowds. They were polite, they weren't bad, it was just weird and quiet. And so it felt like really trying to pull the laughs out of them on both occasions. And it was a struggle, but tonight also I wasn't allowed to do any crowd work at this venue. That's what they told me. That was before I got booked on. So that's kind of like felt restricted as to what I could and couldn't say. So I tried to just do written material tonight. I've got my pizza. I'm gonna head home now and then get ready for another month. Some more surprises in store coming in May.